Hey! There's dog. We get the best dope in the markets. Those used to be the old days on the trading floor. We're going to talk S&Ps here. We're going to talk S&Ps here. Today is Friday. Today is actually Sunday. What is it? The Oct 19. And so this was the 17th. This was Friday. Okay. Thursday, Wednesday. Okay. So I put out I'm going to call it a chart letter. First chart letter. Nobody calls their stuff. Everybody calls them market letters and that. And I had, as a matter of fact, on a video, or I've had this, a couple of these olive lines up here. Okay. In the right-hand column, you know what, let me do it this way here, just to get that off of that column here. Sometimes, depending on what device you're looking at this, so I had the sequence in here after we went down here. Okay, this was that one Friday. Wasn't it Friday? Yeah, Friday, the 10th, Oct 10. Oh, this was, I don't know, something Trump said, you know, I think this was the 150% tariffs or 100% tariffs. Okay, so I had the sequence here, green on the upside, right here. Let's go back 5 days ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this was Friday, so this was Monday. I had this sequence up here. Here's the green, which was the high here this day, a little reversal down. Okay, and then I had the orange. Then you had these things right here, okay? Just another pivot without telling you what it is. And then over here, these would tiny yet huge olive line cells, 67, 63, 20. Okay? And then the other one was 67, 70. Call it 67, 77. Okay? And so here's the high here. Let's look there. 67, 66, 75. See it there? High. Okay? Otherwise, we could call it 67, 67. So now when I had this out here, I highlighted this day right here, 67, 66 half. Okay? And I do it ahead of time. Now listen here. When I put this out, this was on that Friday. Okay? So it was about 80 handles, 70, 80 handles higher. Okay? And so if, in fact, giving you plenty of, I say I do it ahead of time, okay? So we went up here to the olive line cell 1, okay? And, you know, when they're this close, okay, because this is really tight, I say you usually go for the first one. Still 1,000 points there. You could still have some certain kind of stops. As a matter of fact, you would have gotten stopped out here if you had a $3, $4 stop. $5 stop, I think you're in there. Yeah, 78 half, since it did not print 67, 67. So here I had this highlighted here, okay? And listen, you could do it yourself, but this was here, outside down, and this was the low that day, okay? 67, 66 half. We went up there. It's just amazing, you know? I mean, I can draw them, okay? How many markets can anybody trade? Okay, but Johnny on the spot, once we had this break, I put this sequence up here, okay? These are my customs. These would be custom sequence, I call them. These would be sell levels, okay? And these are the olives are the 80 to 90% fire sale shorts in this case because they're sells, okay? Anyway, so this is what we did this week. Friday we went down again here. We tested this low close right here during the, what was this, Tuesday? Yeah, because this was Monday, Tuesday, all over the place, okay? Because you get volatility, so now you're going to trade. And then the green was the high. Okay, and then the following day, that was when we printed it. Okay, and then here we peaked out lower. As a matter of fact, yeah, this is a daily. This was all in the overnight here. So actually here, look at this. This is exactly what happened to crude over here. Okay, I had these olive lines, 56, 73. Both of them are thick ones. Both of these are thin ones. So there's two sets. Not exactly sure which ones the algos are going to play, so I have two of them on certain occasions. If it's a little bit iffy one way or the other. And this is still 30 points apart, you know, $300 per one lot. But they're both olive line buyers one. This is the day session, okay? 56.73. Let's see what that last low was. 56.75. What was the one before that? 56.76. Wow, we took it out by a penny. And then I think this was the day before. Maybe not. 56.71. 17th. Was this oh, this is all the 17th. Okay. But look it up here. 56.15. Okay, so we traded down here. Right there. All right. That was the overnight low. Okay. I use the day session. Okay. I have my machine tweaked for certain reasons if you want to find out. Anyway, here, this was the same thing here. Now let's go to the S&Ps. Let me go. Do I have it hidden up there enough here? I don't know if I do. Let's go to let's go to 60 minute. You know I don't use 60 minutes. Okay. Okay, here's the 17th. Okay, here's the 16th on the bottom. See the red little, it's kind of red. And then right here. So the low here was 66.41 half. 66.41 half. So that's 66.41. Yeah, 70 handles above here. Okay, here's one of those blue trend lines I say ignore here. Horizontal trend line. I got a red one here. Okay, that's the devil's numbers times 10, which is what the low was in 2009. Anyway, so we got down to, what was the low? 65.71. Okay, yeah, right. We took out this other low here. Okay, 65.71. So right around this line here. Now this would have been, this is on the day session. You're in the middle of the night, so it's not going to mean much unless you're a pro and you got that same line over there. And that is actually one of those candlestick trend lines that I just did a video on. If you want to learn those, man, I would say learn them. Okay, so we're going to call this a wrap. So these are, these are more levels, okay? What I do is I represent the levels are the best you're going to get, okay? They really are. The lines and the levels, and I keep it updated here. This one I think I just drew here. This was a trend line here, and then you did catch this. This was on this was on the retest. This was banker's hours, okay? So we came down here in banker's hours. And then that other one we came down here into this area in the overnight trade. And by the time we opened, we didn't trade under 66.41. So I'm going to call this a wrap. The S&Ps were, the high was up about 11%. In the NAS, it was up 16%. That's kind of a number I say pay attention to. I'll just give you, let's just look at this NASDAQ here. This is a NASDAQ, this is a weekly, okay? Nothing really here. You do have this outside down here. And outside down week not this past week, the week before that. This past week we were up, coming back up here. So, listen, it was, even Paul Tudor Jones, he's like, it can go either way here. Okay, we can blow off year end, okay? And but it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because it could be the end of the move. All right, let's call this a wrap. If you need something, email me, ARP, somewhere. You can't see the badge right there. ARP@NASDOG.com. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk.